Oh my god.
Coffee.
His boyfriend bought him a drink.
Dude, you're too kind.
Coffee.
You fuck.
Oh my god, dude, the fucking garbage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fern Sprout Video Game Book Club. My name is Zach. I am here with the crew. Once again, everyone say hi. Welcome back.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, we, over the last, actually like 2 months at this point, sorry for the long delay, we have sat down as a team and delved into the game known as Dredge. If you're not familiar, Dredge is a single-player fishing adventure with a sinister undercurrent. Sell your catch, upgrade your boat, and dredge the depths for long-buried secrets. Explore a mysterious archipelago and discover why some things are best left forgotten. So, we all wanted to, this was a game that was voted on by all of us. Literally, like, I would say a bit longer than we anticipated. So, guys, welcome back to, I believe, our 4th Video Game Book Club episode. We're still here. We're still kicking. We're still making games, by the way. We're making some. Breach of contract. It's coming out. So, someday. We're in the works, guys. Wait for it. Guys, I would like to introduce Kia to the pod. He is actually, hasn't been here for most of it. He's been hoping to be here, but now he's finally here. Excited. Yes, welcome back. We're going to jump in with him on his first impressions of the game. Kia, take us away.
Zach, thank you for the awesome introduction. Really appreciate it. Excited to be here. As you mentioned, I think really one word sums up this game, and it's impressive. You know, beyond what I had thought. I thought this was going to be a cute little game, something short, something easy, but it really dredged my expectations. It dove deep, and it brought out a lot more than I thought it was going to bring to the table. I love the mechanics. I love the gameplay. I love that throughout the entire story, you have this sort of coldness at the back of your neck, wondering what's going to happen next. So I'm excited to get into it with the rest of you guys and discuss our thoughts.
We'll jump up to Brody. Brody, what do you think?
Oh god. Dude, this game is freaking addicting. I started it like right before Thanksgiving, and then I'd sneak away like while my family was all there to go play this game.
Sorry,
Like,
fam. I gotta go play Dredge.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of fun, and
Genuinely.
yeah, just addicting game, and just I I don't know what else to say. Just
Fair enough.
yeah.
We'll dive into a bit more about what we really thought. But Cade, first impressions, thoughts, concerns?
Yeah. I definitely went in with like knowing it was good, but also kind of low expectations because I'm not huge into like fishing. So, and I got into the game and the fishing mechanics were like didn't feel all that deep, and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna last for 11 hours. And then I couldn't pull myself away. I played for like, I think my first session was 2 hours, and then my second session was like a 6-hour gaming session, which was insane. And I got through most of the game. So yeah, it's very addicting. In a way that I've not. It's like comparable to Civ. It's like Civ level addiction. So yeah.
Mr. Jackson, what do you think?
Yeah, this game was really fun. Kind of took my life a little bit, a couple days there, in the good way. Yeah, I was really I remember loading in at the very start, and I was just like, oh, this is so quaint and chill. How is this a Lovecraftian game? And then it just like turned into like this cool experience and so addicting. It's got all the elements of like, how to make the dopamine go off in the brain, and then it's also got a great story. So it was really good.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Mr. CEO Sean, thoughts?
Yeah, I had zero expectations going into this. I think the only thing I knew about it was fish and Lovecraft, basically. And almost immediately with like, I played this over 2 play sessions. The first one was like an hour and a half, and I was like, all right, I'm into this. I can get behind it. And then on Thanksgiving Day, I played for I think 11 hours straight, and I beat the whole game in one sitting. Which I think if that doesn't tell you how I was feeling about this game, I don't know what it is. But this is the first game in a while where typically I don't like games that are very, they don't tell you the answer. Like, I'm used to playing a lot of games where it's like, hey, go to this waypoint. This is exactly how to deal with this problem and go through here. And there was quite a few moments throughout this game that I loved where they didn't tell me what to do, and I kind of just had to explore to figure it out. And, you know, obviously we can dive into that more later, but I just loved the fact that I had to go dig around, dredge around, figure out what's next, and find my way through the story rather than the story being told to me. So,
Right.
absolutely amazing experience.
Guru Audio Nolan, what do you think?
I had a pretty similar experience to everyone else. I think I heard of this game when it came out, or I heard of the game when it came out. I didn't really look into it very much. And yeah, I wasn't really expecting to enjoy it very much. But yeah, I definitely got sucked into the loop. And I think I finished the game in about 2 sessions. Yeah, it was good. It was great.
And I'll end with my thoughts. I very much was like, I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing about this game. This seemed like, I mean, I no expectation. Was just hoping that it was going to be an interesting single player story. And the only thing that I was told was this Eldritch or a Lovecraftian side to the whole thing, and I was like, this is going to be cool because ocean fishing, Lovecraftian, you can do a lot with that, and the game did do a lot with that. But I'm in the same kind of boat with Kate. I was like, I don't know, fishing game, not really my thing. This is going to be kind of weird. And then like I'm an addict now. I love dredging. I just like, I don't know, the function. I mean, we can dive into it too, but the function of swapping between 2 different layers to dredge the thing up was just satisfying to me. But overall, I really love this game. I had no issues, no complaints. The story is like Sean said, is a mystery, and you know you're left up to your own devices to figure it out. And I loved that a lot. Speaking of story, let's dive into that. We'll start with that. So guys, I mean, kind of just going around, whoever wants to talk, whenever. What'd you think? What were your impressions? You know, we'll dive into like the endings in a little bit because there's actually 2 different endings. Fun fact, if you didn't know, which I didn't. I did not look into that at all. But you know, let's go back to Kia. Kia, what did you I don't know, like messages in the bottle, characters, just any general thoughts. We'll branch off of what you're thinking.
I think there's a lot of depth as long as you keep it within its scope, right? Like this is a perfect story for a 10-hour game.
Right.
You know, I think that people playing this are not approaching it with the expectation of going on like some grand 30-40 hour adventure. Right. And for what it is a pretty taut and tight story, right? They make a good job of, you know, having these mysteries and keeping it short, not making it feel too prolonged. And I think that's something that's almost an art these days, is not drawing something out, right? It's really hard to make a game that feels super satisfying. The gameplay loop is really, really fun, and it keeps you engaged over a 10-hour period without you feeling without it being defeating or you know, deflating at all. And I think that really makes this game super fun. I think Sean hit it on the head with it being sort of secretive with how it reveals itself, but at the same time being intuitive, right? You have a good amount of direction. I really like how, you know, you have to go into your cabin and use the pursuits, you know, the billboard with the pursuits to sort of figure out where you're going or what's going on. They use the map really easily by, you know, using the X marks the spot system and telling you where to go. But at the same time, you can approach situations differently. And there's no set order of things, you know, all the time. Obviously, there's an overarching story, but you can do things as you like. You know, you can explore different areas of the world without, you know, being at that part of the story, right? And I like that a lot. It gives you the choice to sort of explore how you want to. And early on in the game, I spent a lot of time on the first island, not leaving until I really had to, until the game forced me to. And then once that happened, I sort of felt like I broke out of the shell. I wasn't scared to go anymore,
Yeah.
because it does feel scary. That's one thing about the game as well. It is a very scary game when you come down to it. Those ghost ships and some of the weird leviathans, that emerge can be really, really intimidating to approach. So I think it was a masterclass in short form storytelling in a small scale game.
I think we're done. Kia just did the whole thing.
That
was a great explanation. Your thoughts? No, go
I
ahead.
think what's cool is that like, oh, sorry. Do you want to go, Sean?
Okay, you go for it.
I think what's cool is that like it is fairly simplistic. Like you have really there's 4 goals, right? You have the 4 things you got to go collect, and there's their own like each spot has their own little mini story that it tells. But like if you lay out the story on paper, it's like go to these 4 spots, go back, and then you go to the light in the middle of the ocean, and then the game ends. Like it's fairly like simplistic, but like the way it reveals itself through these like through the messages in the bottle, I feel like really like I was not engaging with them a ton besides the fact that they would pop up and I'd be like, oh, gold shiny thing I should go grab. I go grab it. I skim over it. I'm like, okay, I kind of, all right, there's a couple doing something out in the ocean. And then you're like, even if you very like passively barely engage with it, you still get an idea for the story. And then if you look in further, there's like some more, there's kind of a detail there that's like hidden, but
Yeah, I think with what Kia was talking about that I really, really loved with the scariness of the story is I feel like the first third of the game when you don't really have a lot of speed to both your fishing, dredging, and then the boat itself, the timer of the day really like stresses you out because you're like, crap, I need to get more fish, I need to get more money so that I can then upgrade my ship and finally be quick enough to go on these longer adventures. And I loved the thrill of like, crap, I'm now trying to get back to land so I can sleep and go to bed and go back out onto the ocean and try and get to the fish I need. And I think they did a really good job of time for the story of just, you weren't very fast at first. You can't fish very quickly. You can't move very quickly. And that looming pressure of the deep is going to come get you if you spend too much time out there at night is really, really cool.
Absolutely. And I just want to add to that. I think the way they use a sense of urgency was really smart, allowing you to escape it through the sleeping mechanic, but also forcing you at times to use it to your advantage, whether it's an objective that can only be done at night or a fish that you need at night. They allowed you to test the waters in the way that you wanted, but they forced you to play every part of the game, right? There was no avoiding it, which was fun, but they did it in a comfortable pace. Again, like the way that they reveal the story and allow you to build up to certain events is really like, I was very impressed, and you never feel like powerless in a situation, but you do feel perilous in a situation, right? Like you have the equipment to get away from every encounter, whether it's a banish feature or, a speed boost. But at the same time, when something happens, whether it's a ghost ship or some sort of like shark encounter, or like I think it was in the mangroves, like those weird snakes, like it still felt, there's a sense of pressure that really like made you sweat a little bit. And I think those moments in such a slow and relaxed game really, they give you that dopamine hit that's really, really fantastic.
Jackson, Nolan, Brody, have any thoughts?
I wanted to say, I honestly, I wish I paid more attention to the story. I feel like a lot of times when I play games, I get really excited about exploration. And so my like main driving force, instead of collecting like the trinkets, was like, I want to go explore everywhere. I want to see every island and I want to get all over. And so I wasn't really as involved with the story as I wish I could have been. I once I got the the first initial ending, I was like, oh wait, what? And then I was just
Oh,
kinda,
yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention. Um, but yeah, I think that's just me. That's how I played the game, and I think I got really absorbed into the world. This game reminds me, it's almost like the exact same aesthetic as Don't Starve, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Um, and I love that like early like 1900s kind of like magic horror
Right.
kind of vibe. It's very cool. Yeah, so that's how I felt about the game. I never really felt myself getting too scared. I think like I was very cautious about how I went out every day and stuff to make sure I'd have enough time to get back. I don't think I ever got like I'm curious if anyone else like died out at the ocean in the night, because that
Yeah.
didn't happen to me.
No.
I don't even know what happens when the panic meter gets all the way up, because I just would have
He just
walked
went
home.
back to
Goddamn.
bed. bro,
Yeah, I
extra
don't know.
cautious.
I was weirdly efficient about the way I played this game.
That's fair.
My-
That's fair.
My problem was I kept going out really early in the game before I had the speed boost or a fast boat. So then I would get attacked by things and couldn't dodge it, or like I couldn't really move quick enough to get out of the way. So I died a lot really early in the game because it's like, screw it, I'm just gonna go out to these dangerous zones and see what happens. So then I died to the Leviathan, I died to the big tentacle, I died to the monster. So it just
Not to flex.
sort of-
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, not to flex again, but I low-key forgot about the speed boost. I didn't use that at all.
I feel like that's not a speed. That's just like you nerfed yourself.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
well,
But he's better.
okay,
He's better than it.
well, I think the way they described it was confusing, because the way they described it, it sounded like it was like if you used it too often, your boat would explode or something like
Well,
that.
It did.
you
It
use it,
does. Yeah.
but it
Well, if you get to the top of the bar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was just like
Your
if you
engine
use it
explodes.
like
Yeah.
a certain number of times. I didn't
Yeah,
I
realize
will
it
say
was linked to the bar.
The way that one
And so
the
I just didn't use it. Yeah.
the way that one guy like explains those like abilities, it
Oh,
really
yeah.
does make you feel like you
Shouldn't
like
be using
some
them.
super bad thing's gonna happen if you use it too much.
Right.
It really, it's like your engine blows up, or like I actually don't know what would happen if you teleported back. Like
you get insanity.
oh
Yeah.
really?
And there are some mechanics where like I think they could have been touched on or expanded a little bit more. I have a couple points when getting to Nolan.
Yeah.
Looping back to the whole exploration thing, I think the beauty of this game is it allows you to play however you want, and the world building is fantastic.
Yeah.
They do a really, really good job of isolating each section, creating a clear path through that section, but also making you want a little more. Each island has its own history and Easter eggs and whatnot,
Right.
which I thought was super good. Touching back on the mechanics, I do think there could have been more punishment for the paranoia and some of the insanity stuff. I do think that the speed boost is a little bit overpowered, and I found out that you can essentially infinitely use the speed boost
Right.
if you touch it on and off, because you don't lose any speed potential, and the speed is also it's not like an on-off switch, it carries over, so you have momentum in this game, and if you tap it, that momentum continues without building the bar to its maximum. There's certain things that I think they weren't perfect in this game, but in general it all ties into an experience that's super cohesive, and it's meant to sort of pique your interest and like want to learn more, right? It gives you like tidbits of information, and it forces you to like go out and think about, how can I approach different situations? What can I do? And the thing is, you don't have to focus on the story, right? It's the same for the world, right? Like if you like exploring and you don't care about the story, the world does the same thing, right? There are bits of information that reveal themselves, like those little ghosts, like the dead guys, for example, that say, give me more fish, right? I don't know if any of you guys did that, but it forced you to explore as a part of the world that's not within the story, and I thought that was really interesting.
And I had a very similar experience to Cade, where like the story didn't really, like the story outside of the basic story didn't really compel me, but it was enough where the world felt lived in, and that like
Right.
immersed me enough. Like even though I was just like skimming through it, it still was like enough to be like, okay, yeah, like this world feels lived in, and like there's history to it.
Right.
But it never reached a point for me, at least, where I really was like, I'm super interested in like diving deep into like the
Right.
like iceberg of like the lore of this universe. Like I'm okay just seeing the top of the iceberg.
I'll say this. I
I
want to
was-
add on. Can I or who?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go
So
ahead.
like so to add on to the tip, wanting or not wanting to dive into the depths of the iceberg, is a good thought, because I'm going to mention, well, the first thing is I'm curious if anyone went out of their way to really get these. I bet you did, because like the what, how do you pronounce the word, the aberrations type fish, so like the corrupted Lovecraftian fish. I only ever wanted to get those more often than the other fish. Like, I mean, normal fish is boring. I want to get the crazy, creepy looking ass thing. And if you keep it for enough and it doesn't rot, you could sell it for like the same price. Like they'll take it. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But so like that's one thing that like told a little bit extra to the story. I mean, Lovecraft themes and overall world building, especially in Lovecraft's story, Eldritch things, like there's a lot of high level lore that I noticed in all the different islands and sections and towns that don't actually go much deeper than just what you see in the mystery that it presents, but you won't learn much. And that's funny enough, tying into the Lovecraftian theme of eldritch chthonic horror that is confusing, but you won't learn anymore. And that's what makes it interesting, is they're never going to explain that to you. And I found that interesting with a lot of not just the creatures you see, and they're like, oh yeah, what was that? I have no idea. Like, we don't have an answer for you, but it's there. Versus like the fish you get, and then just everything you discover. I mean, I don't know, especially like the cultists in or like the cult guy, the old, I don't know his name, but like you had to get the flames to get one of the trinkets. I forget the exact trinket, but that was like, they don't dive into that anymore. You just help him do this thing. You're like, oh yeah, this is just an established old civilization that was once here. I found that really interesting, and curious if anyone else thought about that. But
Yeah. I think a good example of like something that was high level and I wish they touched more on, but kind of like it was good that they didn't, was the one interaction you have early on with the fishmonger in Greater Marrow, where you deliver him one of these aberrations
Oh, he
and
eats it.
he like closes his door for a couple days and he's like, don't come in, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
You want to know, like, what did it do to him, and like what is he testing it for?
Right. Why are you eating this thing?
Here? And like he comes back like 3 days later and he's like, damn, like I did not feel good. That was kind of stupid. But that's a great example of like carrying on this mystery and not giving you clarity on the situation. And it adds to this sort of ambiance of mystery within the whole story, where you're like, I don't understand why I'm here, what's going on, or what these things are, but I'm just gonna fish,
I
I need to make money.
I think he got fully possessed. He was gone. He was a goner.
Right.
Well, I mean, you don't know.
Right? Didn't he
That's the
say
thing.
like? Wasn't he like?
I wasn't myself.
Yeah, he was super possessed, right?
No,
I didn't-
I mean, he
I
comes
didn't-
back and he's just sick, and he continues as normal.
There is, I guess I shouldn't say this if anyone's interested in playing. I've looked into it because we were looking into some trivia, but I won't say, this is not a question for the trivia, but the DLC expands into other characters that exist on like the Iron Rig stuff. And unlike the guy who eats it, the fishmonger, and comes out okay, there's someone that completely turns into an aberration and like is no longer human. I think it's a scientist on this Iron Rig. I don't know any of that story. I just know that happens. And
there is the scientist on the old fortress that looks into it as well, but it doesn't touch past that.
Right.
No.
But
I think just the last, like, I don't know if we want to move on to other things, but for the story, I just think that like, because I skimmed them, I'm curious if anybody else like found notes, and if any of the notes were stories about anything other than the the wife and the husband. I'm pretty sure all the notes were just about them, which
Mhm.
if you don't play till the end is
Yeah.
actually the main story.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
is which is interesting because like a lot of times in games you'll find notes in the world and it's different storylines and it's just mostly used for like background on specific
Right.
characters. And I started reading that, I'm like, oh, am I gonna have to track like 15 different backstories
Right,
or
yeah.
whatever? And that seemed like too much work, but it's all just one story. I think I could be wrong, but
Yeah,
I'm pretty
didn't,
sure you're right, Kate. I
I'm
believe
pretty sure you're
I
right.
didn't see
All
any
time.
other things.
You
which
get
is
the
interesting.
mayor.
There are three notes that tie into one another, and they're not really a story, but they reveal an event that happened with a market where there's a cryptic message, there's a prize message, and then there's an engagement
right.
message. Where like this guy has like a random cryptic moment. It's incoherent. Then there's a message about a prize where this guy won a certain amount of money from like some sort of contest for some items. And then there's the message about the contest itself. And those were just three random notes, I think, that didn't tie into anything else.
Right.
I did it.
I don't know. I
Probably
might not
did.
have the full stat or full
Yeah.
list. I'm probably still missing the rest of it. But
Before
I
we
think
move
the
on
last-
to, sorry, go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say, I think the last big thing is just talking about the endings. Like,
Yeah.
how did people's experience with two endings work? And did you do both? Did you only experience one? Which one did you start with? Or,
Let's take it to Jackson. I'm curious what he thinks.
yeah. What was your experience with the endings?
Yeah, so this is so funny. I'm just gonna say this now. Brody like totally misled me. I thought he he's texted the chat. He was like, "I hated that ending. I hate." Apparently that's not what he said at all, or like it was. He said that
Like near the ending. Near the ending.
yeah, dude. Because I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, I know why Brody doesn't like it. It's because he got the fucked up ending first. But that was he didn't even get any ending. But
Right.
so how it happened for me is I actually did the good ending first because when I went back to the what was the guy
On accident, or did you Google?
No, I actually did it without Googling.
Nice.
What was the guy's name in the tall castle?
In the
Is that
tall
you?
castle. Oh, the collector.
The collector, yeah. You go back to the collector, you talk to him and you break the mirror. And I was like,
Right.
oh, he broke the mirror. And I realized that afterwards, like, okay, it's me. But then I'm like, okay, I don't get that. But I'm going to go to the mayor guy, the old mayor, because I'd recently found him in that like one like place out west, right? Or out east.
He actually spawns randomly.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah, he
never
doesn't
mind.
spawn in the same spot. Yeah.
Yeah, so I found him late game. I don't actually know if I would have if I would have thought about that if I didn't find him late game, but like, oh, I'm gonna go back to him and see what. And he wasn't there, but there was a note which I forgot what it said. And then I went to the lighthouse lady because he told me to go there, and then she's like, "When you're ready." And then it showed the same game ending thing as the collector. And I'm like, I'm gonna do this one. And then in one game ending, you get eaten by this like big like Leviathan underwater.
It's a
And in the
Cthulhu
other
type.
game
Leviathan.
what?
Oh, I was just
In the good ending, you get eaten by the Leviathan. Like that is, that's his name.
But then in the bad ending, like fucking Cthulhu rises out of the fucking like, earth, bro.
Yeah.
And I never really understood why like you get eaten by like that specific Leviathan, if that means anything to the story versus like Cthulhu rising. Obviously Cthulhu's bad, and like you sacrifice yourself in the good ending, and like everything goes back to normal. I thought the endings were like good, but like I wasn't like, wow, that was great. I more enjoyed like the game and like the vibe of the story, not necessarily the content of what the story was saying,
Right.
but the vibe that the story was giving. During the playthrough, I actually didn't read the notes at all because I'm just like, I was just super ADHD for some reason. I read them right at the end, and then that helped me understand like what was going on. And I tried to read them all in order, and it's like, oh, it's just like couple on their honeymoon, like wow, they're having a great time, and it's you,
Yeah.
and you're fucked.
Yeah.
I interpreted the Leviathan eating at the end, like based on what I saw online after finishing everything, and then like my interpretation of it was that the entire game, that Leviathan is chasing you at some point.
Mhm.
And the idea is the fish and the deep are trying to prevent you from doing the evil thing. And then finally you're at peace, you get rid of the book,
Mhm.
like the world is safe, and they eat you to basically prevent you from ever doing it again. And like, don't let this evil world get back to where it was. Like, that's how I interpret it, was
makes
that
sense.
Leviathan is like basically protecting the world from the evil coming back.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
I hate calling it the bad ending, because I actually loved the bad ending.
The
I
evil
call it
ending.
The evil ending. So I did the evil ending first. I did not know there was a second ending.
Yeah, me neither.
Just went into it and was just like flabbergasted basically at it happened. Like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
And then immediately, like, I'm in the world, I'm just kind of collecting items, and I go watch a YouTube video, find out that there's a second ending. I
Right.
go through that whole experience it. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so
Right.
neat. This is super cool. And I love that, as I alluded to earlier with my first impressions, that the second ending is so solvable if you just explore. Like,
Yeah.
if you explore enough, you will find the second ending. And I wasn't exploring enough in that side of things. Like, I was doing side quests and I was exploring, but clearly not enough. And it really rewarded people who just went for it. We're like, we're just going to go to every single line in every single corner, talk to the right people, read through the notes.
Yeah.
And I think that's so cool that they did it and made it so seamless with exploration and rewarding that behavior. So, no, I love both endings. I think they're both cool and they're both unique. And I hate calling it a bad ending, because I think it's a cool end. Like, it's interesting to have the world just die.
The dark
Get
ending.
your wife back.
It
The
really
dark
ties into the spirit of the
moment.
game, the way that you have to really figure it out and
Right.
push, like pushing for the book and making sure that, you question what's going on, right? Because this whole game, you don't have any answers. You're trying to figure it out, but you
Right.
don't understand. And that's also where, like, if you don't read the notes, the ending can feel really sudden, right? It's just like
Yeah.
you're doing stuff and then suddenly Cthulhu
yeah.
comes. Whoa, what's up?
Whoa.
In some senses, I think that's a better ending because it's more surprising. You
It
don't
works into the
expect it.
theme of everything that's been
Yeah,
happening.
it's-
So
It's very cool, but
Yeah.
To Sean's point, from my understanding, the Leviathan is benevolent, and that book holds the secrets of the deep. And by offering it up as a sacrifice, you prevent others from using the secrets of the deep to their advantage, right? Because
throw it back.
you're bestowed this sort of like cursed knowledge and abilities that is unnatural and inhumane to use. And as you use it, you can tell it's not normal because you build this paranoia.
Yep.
And you're giving that knowledge back. You're not doing something that's unnatural, and it sort of brings back the whole theme of, like, is it ethical to bring someone back from the dead? The whole
Right.
Frankenstein. This was even explored in Harry Potter. You have the whole Deathly Hallows, where the one brother revives his wife, but it turns out to be the greatest curse of all time because she's afflicted with the knowledge of death, right? And it's the same thing for this, right? You do not touch things you don't understand or should not have the power to hold. And in some senses, giving it back to the deep allows the deep to remain, hidden and questionable and sort of mysterious. And it's the right order of things in the natural world. So I really love that theme. Like, they, again, just so seamless, so effortless, and how well it ties together with the general theme, and I truly enjoyed it. But again, Cthulhu ending is better. It's way cooler.
Yeah, it's an interesting take, and I was gonna say, I kind of agree with you. I do like the spontaneous. Well, I mean, if you're not paying attention so much, you're like, oh wow, this is interesting. But thematically and narratively, it still works. But Sean and Jackson have mentioned this, and if you guys are at this part in the pod, spoilers. Too late, you already know. the second ending I didn't obviously get. So like, okay, I got the evil ending for context. I didn't know there was another until Sean explained it to me yesterday. But once you like, I will say this: there are visual cues, very very few throughout both at the beginning of the game, like very like, I think there's a cutscene shot of the fisher or the fisherman you play as driving his boat. He has the same beard as the collector, so like the same facial hair and everything. And then Jackson mentioned it. The mirror breaking is the whole time when the collector guy shows up. I always thought that was just a doorway. No, once you look at it, it's a mirror that you're just standing in front of, and so it makes a lot more sense to me that, oh, I was that guy the whole time. And then I had like all of the knowledge for that throughout the course of reading. When I got a note, like bottle message in a bottle, I read it immediately. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and put this together. And I think Cade made a great point where like, oh yeah, there's games that like there's other background story for other characters and maybe even your character, but like may not be the primary story. This one is. I want to call back to like Firewatch, where the stuff that you're reading about, I do not remember their names, but the father and the son being the thematic, like, I don't know, clone's not the right word, but the other parallel? the parallel story that is to you, what is happening to you and your family and everything, right, that is directly important to the story of Firewatch, but this one is also in that same kind of boat. Like, this is the story. This is what's happening. Here's all the pieces. Figure it out. Yeah. But the direct, like, oh, you're the collector isn't apparent until later on, but you could maybe start figuring out, like, well, you start questioning, why am I here? Why am I doing these things? Why am I succumbing myself to these things and agreeing to do so, not just as the character, but as the player, because the choices you make as a player fuel the story. And so I love, or like, I don't know, psychological makes sense. But overall, I just to finish my thoughts, I loved the story. I knowing that there's a good ending, it's cool, and I like the lore. I like the story, that immediate, you're trying to find your wife and bring her back. But having the evil ending was pretty cool too. I was like, oh, that's great. You know, world's over and the credits, everything was on fire.
I think what's cool, and I could be wrong again because I don't think I read all the notes and stuff, but I think what's cool is like, I don't think there's a way for you to know that you're the collector or you're the or that you're reviving your wife until the ends. And it's kind of cool. Like, an ending gives you another piece of the story. Mm-hmm. And like, you don't really know, at least the way I played it, I played the first ending and I got, okay, I'm the sailor guy. Mm-hmm. I'm the guy who lost his wife. Yeah. But I still didn't know that I was also the collector until I got the good ending. So it's kind of cool. Like, each ending gives you a little bit more of a bit of more of the story, which is, I don't know. Zach, using an ending in that way is very, very interesting.
Yeah. Zach alluded to it earlier, but there's even another detail. The first shot where you see the fisherman when he's in his boat, he actually has the book with him in that shot.
Is it in the shot? Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I think that I saw that too.
So I saw the picture of it online, and it was like saying the note for it when I was making the trivia, and it's literally the first scene. You see him, the collector's face, basically, and then the book. Right. It's on the right side, on the dash, and you can see some symbols. Like, so they, without telling you, they tell you.
They told
exactly
you,
but you don't look there. Like, why would you be looking at that book?
Right.
The scene moves so quickly; it's just in sequence. Like, oh, he's on the boat. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's not.
And you don't know.
You don't have context. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I love how they did that. That's great. I love when stories do that.
The detail in this game is just.
It's awesome. Yeah.
They knocked it out of the park. It's so good.
Okay.
I feel like I knew early that I was the guy, but I didn't know I was a collector. It was really weird. Like, I don't know how I put it together that I'm like, I threw that book. So what does that mean for the story? But I didn't know that I was the collector. It was really, I don't know how I exactly put that together.
They do kind of throughout the story. I'm remembering. They're like, what do you, like, the lighthouse lady's like, what are you doing back here? She talks to you like you've already been here. I think. There's also.
Yeah.
The boat sounds
Yeah.
familiar, that sort of thing.
What's so
Yeah,
nice is
yeah.
it's forgettable. Like
Right.
you don't think this is a game that has that much depth or detail, so you just like let it go. Like those aren't details that I'd ever noticed until we're talking about it now. And like,
Yeah.
you play through the first couple hours and you're just sitting there like, I think this game is going to be about me adventuring and like figuring out what the story of this land is. Like, is this an alternate universe? But it turns out, it's a story about you.
That's what's great.
I think what's so great about that too is like, and this kind of ties back into the note thing. Like, so many games. Okay, I'm thinking of like, none of you have played it, but the original Marathon has these terminals, and they are about very like different things. There's some that are about the rebellions 200 years ago. There's some that are about weird philosophical future stuff. Like, and to piece that together has taken a community like 20 years to like figure out what is this game trying to tell us. This game has a fairly simple story, but it's told in pieces, and so it's like pretty, like anybody can figure it out. It's not actually all that complicated, but it's told in such an interesting, like broken up way. Like,
Okay,
Yeah.
so I want to, before we move on to any ending with a trivia or whatnot, I wanted to ask. We've talked about mechanics a little bit here and there, but the one thing I wanted to get everyone's thoughts on were how optimized, like how optimized was your fishing, ship, troweling, whatever you did? How far, how plus ultra did you go on becoming the ultimate fisher?
Dude, I went for the engine so fast.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
Me
get it out of
too.
there, dude.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't think I fully finished all my upgrades
Right.
really.
Me neither.
But yeah, I definitely wanted the fast engine as fast as possible.
I
did the majority
upgrade,
of the
like, my-
upgrades.
What?
Huh?
I said I did the majority of the upgrades, but
Mm.
I don't think I fully completed it, like Nolan said. I didn't do enough of the crabbing. Like the
Yeah, me
crab
neither.
nets. Like I did not touch those at all, basically.
I
Yeah.
basically didn't touch the fishing poles.
Yeah.
I never
Like-
it's
crazy.
so crazy.
That is
Like
crazy.
you
I-
used. Explain. Like what
I did
did you?
only engines and the ones that drop into the water.
Oh,
and get
okay,
fished.
okay. I was
And I
like,
was-
so
I
you
just
I
wanted
also had-
passive income.
Well,
You
so
trawled
what
the whole
I did
time?
was on the research island, I just like mega moneyed my shit. Like I just like
Yeah.
got so much money and upgraded like everything, and I kept
Right.
buying the research things
right.
from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
girl. So like
Mhm.
I just like, and so I think she gives you the way that you can upgrade to the like mega like Hadal type like
Yeah.
Yeah.
place. And I just kept going to the middle and like getting a ton of, because the fish like would regenerate so fast there, like for
Yeah.
some
Mm.
reason. So that was like where I got most of my money, and then I like pretty much upgraded my engines, and I just had the Hadal thing. And then when I went back to the other place, I'm like, oh, I need like a different one. And
The
I think I
mangrove
just,
or
like,
whatever,
had like like I just like that's when I started finally doing like end game. I started like
I made the fatal mistake of trying to upgrade my I think I did most of my boat and fishing upgrades at the second island, the Gale Cliffs,
Mm.
because I was like, oh, sweet, like there's cool loot here. And then once I finished upgrading and I went to the next areas, I
Yeah.
realized how much better both of the next areas would have been if I just went to them to upgrade my ship.
right.
I spent so much time
Yeah.
in Gale Cliffs just upgrading
Me
my
too.
ship and then went to the next
dude, that place sucked. Dude,
It did. That's why I'm saying. Like, I didn't think. I was like,
like,
yeah. No, I
bro.
made the worst choice choosing to upgrade my boat there, not going to the next area. Like, I just was like, nope, I'm gonna get my boat, and then I'll go on to the next part.
I was
of
just
the
saying, is
story.
that the one with the motherfish and the red one?
Yes.
You wait.
No, not that one. Not that one. The Gale Cliffs has like a serpent
The
that
second
comes out
place.
of the water. It's
Yeah.
the second-
Oh, you're right.
And it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
slither, dude.
It's
that
still
was-
Not the volcanic region, but the
Yeah.
other one.
I
Okay.
hated the volcanic region,
Yeah.
man.
If you
Well, I wanna
told me
get
you were
into
doing
that.
that there, I would have been upset at you.
I'm curious. Well, I think it's so interesting that everybody had different upgrade paths. Like when I was playing, I was like, "Oh, this is for sure the way to upgrade." Like but everybody played a little bit differently. I did not spec into my passive
I didn't
thing
trawl
at
at all.
all.
Yeah, I didn't trawl
I
at
only
all.
did crab pots and
Yeah.
fishing nets and
Yeah.
or fishing poles
Yeah.
and engines.
So crab pots are the single most broken item in the game because I found out if you put them in the open ocean, not only are krill one by one, they're also the most like profitable per slot,
Okay.
but you get the highest like chance encounters of the research parts. And so I spent like 4 or 5 hours just sitting there and waiting for like crab to like load into over 80 different crab pots.
Bro, optimized shrimp.
Yeah, and then so I maxed out my ship within a couple hours, like a quarter into the game, and then I also realized that early on they give you the best possible fishing rods you can have, and it's
Right.
a cursed one through all of those like those missions where you have to
Yeah.
like put fish on stone at the back of the
Yeah.
islands. They give you this sinew spindle and the sign of ruin, which are just crazy broken, and then you add a versatile rod and a fathomless winch, and you can fish every single fish in the game within the first like 2 hours with the most
Right.
efficiency possible. And then I added a fish net to that. I also found out
like this at all, dude.
yeah, I found out that
I
they
found
give
one
you
of
an
those.
This
arterial
min-maxing is
engine.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they give you an arterial engine, and that sort of like unlocks the path for 1x1 engines.
Oh yeah.
And I
yeah.
found out instead of using larger engines, if you use a 1x1 on every single slot, you can like
Is it
unlock
big-
a
is it
boat
better?
speed of 200 knots or something like that. It's like ridiculous.
Dude, I did not optimize like
It's like insane.
No,
I got
The
max
last-
50 knots.
The last island also gives you the best light. It's called Flame of the Sky.
Yeah.
And yeah, you unlock it through like that one shrine with the images like painted on the wall, and it's
Are these-
you get 5,000 lumens total using
Are
that.
these 1x1s? Are they not the jet engines that are like in the shot or in the upgrade tree? Are they like a different one?
Yeah,
Or-
jet drive and arterial. It's 2 different types.
Okay, that's probably why, Jackson.
Wait, what is an wait?
Arterial
Word.
is in the game. It's literally a heart with an engine on it. Like it's
Ugh.
someone's heart.
So
That's crazy.
I didn't. That's
had the
really
evil
cool to
ship.
hear.
The
that
evil
there's,
ship.
like, that's really cool to see because I found some of the runes, but I didn't know that there's even more beyond the upgrade tree. That's pretty cool.
The fishing rod is
Yeah.
is one of the best items in the game that you can get, and you get it really early on. I mean, like within the first 30 minutes.
So
I found a small one.
My crab pot strat was I put like 3 because I found the same thing
Okay.
that like they're the best way to get up your like to get upgrade tokens
Right.
or whatever they're called. I put like 4 at each island, like right next to the whatever the
Seller.
the traveling
Yeah.
merchant.
Yeah.
So then I was just like going around. I was kind of doing quests and stuff, and I could passively like check in
Get
on
your
those
crab.
and get my upgrade tokens and stuff. And
Nice.
yeah, it actually worked out kind of. I did not finish my. I finished my boat over the course of the whole game. By the end of the game, I was constantly going to island to island to island, completing the main objective, and then putting some crab pots down and.
Nice.
And yeah, by the end, I had it maxed out, but I did not like focus on maxing out until.
I need to send a picture of my map because I found out the best way to use crab pots is I started with 30 per island and then 30 in the abyss. But what I ended up doing is I ended up buying like 100 to 200 different crab pots. I think I'm at like 300 or 400 at this point.
Yeah,
Bro.
I would find
Bro, do you even know there was a story in the game?
I basically mapped every route I would take to every island, and I made a path of crab pots so that on the way I could just pick them up. So
Do you have like a spreadsheet? Are you spreadsheeting this? Are you like, okay, so crab pot 1.
Major Dredge.
If you can optimize your game, don't give it to him.
I would never go to a new island, like one of those main areas, without my ship being completely
Until I've
full.
finished, yeah.
Yeah, and like there would always be crab no matter what, so I did not have to fish anymore for upgrades. It was
That's
just
wild.
like infinite money. And you can make these paths easily because every single island just replenishes the crab pots, and you can have an unlimited number, which is
Wow.
crazy.
Whoa! Transition, guys! It's me again, but I'm wearing a different shirt, guys. I am here with Jeff, the art lead here at Fern Studios. Sorry for the quick interjection here. Jeff was supposed to be with us here at this recording, but he had some family business to deal with, so I got him on the line here. Jeff, welcome to the Video Game Book Club official Fern Sprout podcast.
Ho ho ho! It's around that time.
It is
Holiday
fun.
season.
That's why I'm wearing this. If you didn't know, we're hoping this pod comes out during December, but we'll see. So for context, during this recording, you might be a little confused. We're gonna get Jeff's POV, his insights, his thoughts, his anything and everything about playing Dredge, and then we'll cut back to what everyone else was talking about. But Jeff, the floor is yours. What did you?
The game.
So Dredge, what did you think about Dredge? No. The floor is yours.
I mean, all right. Well, really, pun intended, diving into this game, it was really interesting because what really drew me to the game to start was the art style. As a art man myself,
Indeed.
I really digged the aesthetic of the entire thing. I've always kind of been a huge fan of dark, grim features and styles.
Yeah.
I've always kind of referenced this game a little bit to another like indie creator for a game called Forgive Me, Father, with a very dark and gritty style. There's another one of like Darkest Dungeon is another one that kind of comes to mind. But for this game as a whole, it kind of takes a more open style to it. As you would play some of those other games, it would be very enclosed. Well, with this, you actually have the freedom of the ocean. So it was very interesting going into it at first. But what really put me to kind of even put me on edge playing the game was how a lot of the game loop had you kind of go in and out of your comfort zone, which was really interesting. And coming from someone who is absolutely terrified of the ocean, this was a big step for me playing this game. I don't think I will ever touch Subnautica ever,
or go to the real ocean,
or go to the real ocean. You'll never find me anywhere near. But
that's fair.
Honestly, it was really fun kind of going into this game. And even taking on a fishing gimmick, you would say, going into it as well, because I've always loved to kind of see what games and what creators do with the fishing genre. I mean, it's kind of pretty simple cast and release deal. So it's interesting to see how they took this and put a little bit of a dark spin on it.
Right. I was gonna not to interrupt, to mention Cade and myself. Hopefully by the time at this moment beforehand, Cade was like, I'm not a big fan of fishing, nor was I. Like in video games, apparently, I don't know. There was I don't know if it's a stigmatism is the right word, but like,
I don't like fishing.
Well, okay.
Fishing
I mean,
games.
I'm not gonna talk for. I'm not gonna quote. I'm not gonna shame Cade, but myself at least was like, I'm not like, I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me as much. I mean, mechanically, it depends on what. Like, I don't know. I can't think of an exact example, but like,
well, I guess this is a great segue for mechanics with this game. Was something really interesting with taking the simplicity of fishing and finding a way to go about it. So funny enough, one of my favorite fishing gimmicks actually comes in the form of like Animal Crossing with Animal Crossing fishing gimmick where you're having to chase the fish as you're trying to reel it in. Well, instead if it's not like a button mash, as with some of the older games. And I mean, fishing as a whole, it tends to be a lot of waiting, which I get that not a lot of people dig, just kind of waiting and timing certain things. But with this, it had some some more active engagement for it, because it took kind of the spiral puzzle gimmick there for fishing, having to kind of navigate. Actually, a great example with it is lock picking. They basically combined lock picking with fishing, and it was a very, very nice thing to kind of see how they took fishing as a whole. I mean, I can also compare some other fishing mechanics with another game that my girlfriend and I kind of played a little bit of on my Switch. Was the it was a recent release within the past 2 years. There was a Shire, the Hobbiton Shire Animal Crossing like game. I
think I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name. Yeah.
I can actually, let's see, something Shire. I will look it up here.
All right.
Tales of the Shire. That's the one.
That sounds familiar.
And that game actually had some nice fishing gimmicks in there too, and it very much plays into movement instead of waiting and button mashing, which I feel like turns a lot of people off on fishing mechanics. So with that, it was really, really interesting to see. Closed game loop, cast, release, and then you got some inventory management, which was something kind of we haven't quite we've definitely seen a lot of. I would say the inventory system would, in regards to Diablo comes to mind, where you're having to manage your squares and your backpack like that.
Oh, sure.
But in the cadence of like a ship, which was very interesting.
I agree. I not to interrupt you. Continue if you wanted to say something.
No, go for it.
Well, I just wanted to go along with what you're saying there. I agree. It is, and I think, I don't know if I finished this thought. Like, I love the fishing mechanics in Dredge. Like, compared to other things, this made it fun. I mean, sure. I mean, I guess it can be repetitive, but I liked the replayability there. Like, I loved being able to go to one spot and do something else. I mean, it tied into the whole aesthetic and everything, and like, I wanted to collect fucking aberrations of the corrupted fish. Like, that was my primary goal.
Of the fish.
Yeah, I didn't really care about
like they had their encyclopedia for
I love
the fish. Like, that was actually one of the first things, because before buying and playing the game, I've obviously watched gameplay of it beforehand, and what really got me hooked with it. And I didn't know there was a kind of encyclopedia for the fish that you catch, and I dived straight into that book the moment I went into the game, and just turning through the pages of all these different kinds of variants of fish that I really like to see, that were a little bit different from standard, like procedural variations that tend to be for certain games, where it can range within the hundreds to thousands. Well, this one definitely seemed more crafted with each variation. That this wasn't made by some random generator that put pieces of other fish together to create this jigsaw puzzle piece fish. No, these were really, really well made. So that could also bring us really well into our themes, thematics, and storytelling for it, as each of these fish kind of tell a little bit of some of the background with the game itself. A lot of it catered towards this demonic presence, we'll say,
Lovecraftian
within the waters, Lovecraftian
whatever
presence.
You want to call it. Right.
Yeah, that was really plaguing these fish around the area, and it was really interesting to see what kind of monstrosities he would find under the water.
Did you finish the game?
I sadly did not. I couldn't get around to it, sadly. I genuinely wish I did, but I did at least get further than what I thought I would get, and at least explored some of the other islands. I couldn't quite get to a lot of the NPCs, which does tie into a lot of the storytelling that they did. This game does not lay out the story like flat out in front of you. You do have to go and investigate and find it. So it is buried, which can appeal to some. And I was gonna say, like, can appeal to some, can appeal to, to a majority. I don't know if some people like that or some people do, but it makes it a nice treasure hunt, which fits thematically to a fishing island adventure type game that you will have to hunt for clues when you're trying to figure out, okay, what the hell's happening here, which I didn't mind at all. It was a nice journey, especially finding certain NPCs that you really enjoy. One that I was down to one fish. There's a special little guy on an island not too far from the base island that you get set up that gives me Voldemort vibes. It is a hooded character. I don't know if we are going down any sort of spoiler territory there.
We are, so you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a hooded figure that just sits on top of a rocky cove that you can pass through, and at first it's very interesting to engage in dialogue with this guy, but he just talks in this really grimy grimy audio, and then he just says, I'm hungry, and he feeds and really wants these types of fish, and he goes and sends you off to find specific fish in a certain order. And I got down to the last fish that he needed before I could find out what happens if you end up feeding this guy. But that was interesting to find. Really, really cool to see some NPCs even be affected by what's happening here.
Like,
and
what's his name? The fishmonger. I don't know if you experienced where he ate some of the. It's implied that he ate.
That he ate
some of the aberrate. I don't know how. To one of those kinds of fish, and came back, but he's okay. But like he's like, I had a rough day or something. Like it wasn't good. Yeah, that happens. I don't know if that's. I think that's all the time because I think you have to do that. Like it's part of the earlier quest, and it's implied that he eats it.
He ate it, and it really messed with him. So that's interesting to see because that could even allude to like what these fish can do to you. Yeah. So with just having a small taste to almost living off of these fish, it could really change you in some horrific ways. Because this was like a hooded figure with you couldn't really see very many features other than a mouth. Right. So it was very interesting. But like thematically, I loved every bit of it because it really just made you question throughout your entire playthrough, and the sense of unease throughout the entire gameplay, as you would typically find yourself at ease with a majority of average fishing games. It's like, okay, this flips it on its head with, let's make one of these stress-free games out there stressful.
Right. So, that's smart.
And I love that little twist there. But it's what gives this game a nice charm.
I agree. Oh, I'm burping. Okay, so hold on. Okay.
Sponsored by Sprite Cranberry.
No. Hopefully. No. I'll say, so okay, I wanted to ask a few things. So one, you met a hooded guy. So I didn't ever engage with any of those. There's more than one. So
interesting.
Didn't know if you knew that, but there are multiple of those guys. They're all the same kind of quest, I think. Like you get fish and bring it back.
I would expect. Yeah. Bring it back, feed into it.
Yeah. I don't know. I forget. It's said in this, with the other guys, I'm sure it says it somewhere online too, but like I think they might be significant to the overall story, but I don't think they were. Leading into that, I don't know. Here's my question. Do you know anything about the true main story that is happening?
I don't, actually, which is a very interesting thing.
I mean, I'll say this because we do talk about it, but would you like to know, or do you want to know, or do you want to keep it?
You could tell me. I mean, again, I could always jump right into the game. Game's great.
I'll say this just to keep it brief for the rest of the pod, but there's two different endings to the game. So, which I didn't know going in, and a few people I don't think did, but some like Sean did, and someone got the harder ending versus the pretty standard just going with the motions ending. I refer to one as the evil ending and one as the good ending. Or Sean refers to one as the evil, and I'm the one's the good.
That's a traditional way to look at it.
Right. It's not the bad end. I mean, it is the bad ending, but it's more like the evil ending.
Evil ending.
But so it's not. It is implied. It is shown in visual time. So okay, first here, let me ask you this: have you met the collector? I'm assuming you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that was pretty early on. I just want to double check because I feel like I don't remember. It's been a little bit.
He plays a significant role.
Right. Okay. Here's the big twist. Do you want to hear this big twist or not?
I would love to hear.
You are the collector.
Oh, interesting.
And your mind's gonna be blown. At least mine was. If you pay attention back when you get to it, you're not looking through a doorway. You're looking at a mirror of you when you see him. It's a standing mirror, and you are trying to revive your wife, who has died by collecting these chthonic or Lovecraftian items and these trinkets from different islands. You're trying to bring back your wife using the Book of the Deep. I forget what I think it's called that or something. And so there's two different endings. One, if you make that happen, and two, if you choose not to. And so if you choose to let it happen, the bad ending happens, and basically Cthulhu rises up out of the ocean. But the good ending is that doesn't happen, but you get sacrificed, kind of thing. So it's like by a certain creature. I don't remember all the details. I had the normal bad evil ending, or I refer to it as normal, but I just got all of the things and then submitted it to the collector, which was me. And if you read the messages in a bottle found throughout the game,
the ones scattered,
that is telling the story of you and your wife being Julia, and how you've been distracted and regret everything, and then she dies, and then or something, and then you have to, you want to bring her back, and so you're playing as this character. So I found that really interesting. And that big twist, in my opinion, is crazy. Because apparently in the good ending, I forget how exactly, if you choose not to do this thing, you shatter the mirror. And so then it shows that you shattering the mirror, and it's like, oh, okay, there's a mirror. Oh, okay.
I mean, there's a lot of takes on even just shattering a mirror as a whole. There's a lot of analogies for really what that represents of shattering any sort of reality of what you've been doing, reality of yourself, a lot of self-reflection for it. It plays a big part into the style of what typically happens when you shatter a mirror. And in this case, it shatters the perception of what you have expected this game to be and what you've been going through up until this point. Oh my God, I even just realized the first time. So I'm looking back at some images from the game.
Yeah, I know you're good.
And the first image that pops up with the collector in mind is the very first time you see him in the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mirror.
It's a mirror.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Like it's not apparent, but within that image you see a very slim glare.
Yeah.
From the doorway where there typically wouldn't be. Some people would maybe translate this to it's sunbeams coming in to the doorway, but no, with that context, it is 100% a mirror.
I'll say this last thing too.
That is interesting.
The first shot of the game cutscene of you driving the boat, which is, just like an introduction scene shot. The book that the collector is holding is on your dashboard, and then also you have the same beard as the guy, so they show you
connecting that.
They show you, but it's not
the one difference is the Clark Kent glasses,
right.
So that's really the difference there.
They show you regardless, moving on, I wanted to ask so not to keep this too long, but I don't want to not hear what you have to say. I just want to keep this going.
Yeah.
I want to go back to gameplay and design. I asked this to everyone. So far, I know you haven't finished the game, but how optimized, and if you're going to, how how optimized are you gonna make your ship? So like, I only did I didn't do any troweling, fun fact. But like that's like all Kia did, or like all Jackson did, and like completely upgraded their engines. And like I upgraded like fishing rods and engines, and like everyone had a different path. I'm curious what you have done.
Here's an interesting thing, and really just how I take routes for optimization in a lot of the games that I play, especially for RPGs, for any MMOs that I do, is when there tends to be multiple branches that you can go down. I really start from the root out bit by bit, and I never go full in on one branch going in. I really do try to spread it out. And especially with like a lot of my characters that I play with other games, a lot of RPGs, I don't tend to go all in unless I have a build in mind. So in the sense of like a first playthrough, I obviously don't really have any idea of like, okay, what is optimized? What is the best way to go about this? So I just kind of go in a circle for crafting, for optimizing, for upgrading. I'm like, all right, I just upgraded this. Time to move on to the next thing that needs another upgrade, and so on. And I move circular there, which tends to be fine. And then I can always revisit or work on other things. In the context of Dredge, I will say I will probably put more of my eggs into the basket of fishing and getting types of fish. So I would focus maybe on more of my fishing rods versus my boat. That's just my approach, because I do enjoy that fishing element. So I'm like, oh, give me the biggest catch. So what can I do to get said catch? And I need a deep sea rod, or I need a certain oceanic rod, and I need a stronger rod or something in that context. Yes, it might pose some problems when I get a big ass fish and I can't fit it in my boat because I haven't upgraded my boat. That's a problem for another day.
I'll get back to that.
I was able to fish that thing, and I will dump everything in my boat to carry it back, because that is a lot of fun.
Like that big ass crab.
That's like you're a 6-year-old carrying something twice the size of you back home to show your dad. So that's definitely something that I would approach this game with. But I will say, in regards for optimization, especially like the boat itself, it's very interesting. Like, this is your character. So in the realm of video games, playable characters, things like that, you would have gear or equipment, you would have aesthetics or style. But this is your boat, and it's really, really fun to see. And it's fun to see, you would take it in the context of almost like a racing game, where you can optimize your vehicles rather than your drivers. And with this, you can take that in mind and come into this with that mentality, and work on the speed of your boat, work on the efficiency of your boat. Like the first time you unlock the boost for your ship, I've been using that everywhere. I may or may not care about the repercussions of sanity after I do it, but it's still a fun mechanic to realize, okay, this affects your gameplay in this way. And you can really spec into your boat, which I know plenty of players, especially ones who want to venture out and explore this place, would easily dump a lot of their materials, a lot of their efforts into, rather than, yes, it's a fishing game, I don't want to fish anything, I just want to go out and see where I can catch those fish. So
sure. No, I agree. No, that's interesting. Do you have any other thoughts, comments, concerns overall about the story, mechanics, gameplay, Dredge?
I have to finish the game.
You have to finish the game.
I gotta finish the game. I didn't make it as far as most, but I made it enough to really come to some of these conclusions, and at least step back with some nice, nice comments and criticisms on a game like this. That is really, really nice.
No,
I'm glad it's out there.
No, glad. Thank you, Jeff, for your thoughts, your opinions, your I'm trying to think of another
Criticism.
word. Yeah. I was like, I'm trying to think of another word.
Criticism.
Concerns,
Words,
questions, words.
concerns.
Yeah, exactly.
Vocabulary.
Exactly. Guys, we're going to hop back to the rest of the crew. Hope you guys enjoyed so far. Hit like if you haven't. Jeff, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. We'll see you guys in a second. Okay.
Wait,
What?
Yeah. Very quickly.
Yeah, I know.
Very quickly. Could we hear why Brody didn't like that end section?
Oh,
It was
sure.
alluded to,
No,
and I
it
feel
was
like if we don't get it, it's
Yeah, I want to
It
hear
was just very tedious. Like the volcano place was very tedious, and
right.
the little baby fish that would run around,
Yes.
like just constantly got in my way. And it was like them obstacles or like fucking giant fish that would just demolish me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'd get home from like a shift that I woke up at 5 a.m. to do, and I get home, I'm like, I can't wait to play this game. And then I just get like I don't even know. I don't even know how to explain it. I just it's like it was like the equivalent of like getting on and like casually playing COD and then going against people who just play the game consistently. Like I just was like getting one shot every time I played, and I just like lost momentum and stopped playing. And then when I was in a place to get back into it, Jackson and Nolan were playing the copies.
You did that.
I couldn't play it on the Steam family, and I was like, oh, fuck it. Okay.
My one question, I mean, I'm assuming you understood that, like, you can move. I mean, I'm assuming you did. You could going over the volcanic steam, the fish will disperse.
I did know that.
I
did. Yeah, there wasn't enough of them, and they were in such like out of the way spots where I'm like, I'm trying to do this one thing, and there's like 3 billion of these little fishies on me, and they're just gonna swim back to the spot that I have to go to anyways.
Yeah.
And you could use the bomb,
the banish.
But the banish I couldn't use. Like I could do it once per day.
Yeah, not all the time.
You know, like for what I was doing, would it be like, oh boy, I get to use it once, and then.
Well, what's interesting for me, just my experience is that was the shortest island. I finished that island the quickest. It probably
took me the longest.
An hour. Really?
The forest was the quickest for me.
Yeah, forest was so fast. So
I got really annoyed like right at the start of getting there, and I'm like, oh, this is easy, and then I finished it like pretty quickly.
The volcano island or
yeah, because when I first got there, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna die like 200 times here, but then I just figured out like buy the fucking explosives and make sure you have like all your like engine upgrades, and like you can kind of literally go super slow around the fish and go into the explosive or the parts that you exploded. And you can just
which I barely did. I did it.
I used the explosive things a good amount actually.
I never really.
I'm wondering now if like because the forest area was such a breeze for me, like the whiplash from going from that to the volcano thing, like really.
I think I
was like more.
The enemies just looked at you, and then now they're like trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Let's jump into trivia.
Sean, bring out the trivia.
I've got it. And Nolan, get out of the dock. Get out of the dock.
I'm not okay.
Get out of the dock.
Okay. I wasn't thinking.
Stop shooting.
I hope you weren't. Okay, we got 5 trivia questions. Couple are like fill in the blank. The first 2 should be easy, and then the next 3 I think were a little bit trickier and will require that you either read the notes or were paying pretty close attention to some details. So to start, we're going to do the power identification fill in the blanks. So, what did the haste ability give you?
Boost.
It gives you boost.
Speed boost.
What was manifest?
Teleport back to the original.
Back to the black island, whatever that's called. Blackwell Island.
Banish.
Shoot
Banish enemies.
Yes.
Disperse.
And then atrophy.
Atrophy was atrophy was when you would like claim the fish area around you,
yes,
right?
that's right.
Damn, fish on the
I
fish.
forgot that one.
I never used that.
I used it a couple
used it,
times.
like, once, and I was like, that's kind of lame, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's pretty boring. I didn't like that.
It was the best for the Kraken for that area.
Yeah,
true.
And it was also nice if you needed to like get an ocean one, but you didn't have the thing for it. So that's primarily what I used it for.
Yep.
Doesn't it like fully deplete the fish store? And
Yes.
Back. Yeah.
No, it does come back. Does it? It does come back.
Yeah, they come back eventually. Not right away.
That guy was just lying to me.
Yeah.
I was just lying to myself.
I know that's
Jackson,
that's the same thing. I didn't want to use it because I was like, oh, they go away. That sucks.
Mm.
Or the collector's just trying to keep it all for himself.
Which is you.
I learned early on. I was like, the way he words it is just weird, and I would just always test it as soon as I got it. Just be like, what does it actually do?
Next is trinket locations. So I'm going to
Oh,
name a
God.
trinket, and you need to name what island it's associated with.
Dude, that's tough.
Necklace.
The volcano.
Oh,
My God.
No, the
that's
necklace is in the
that's
mangrove.
that's
the
the
mangrove?
scale?
It's tropical.
The
Necklace is
island name.
tropical.
Island name.
Oh God, the island name.
Mangrove Island.
Crazy.
No,
Stellar
I have
Basin.
no idea.
Stellar Basin.
Yeah, that was it. Oh, I don't know if that's the necklace though.
Stellar
Okay,
Basin.
it's the cliffs.
not?
It's Gale Cliffs.
Oh,
Nope.
Gale Cliffs. No.
Fuck. Okay.
Oh, Gale Cliffs was the.
No, actually, no.
ring,
Marrows.
right?
Marrows is necklace, right?
Nope.
The Marrows is the central area. I mean,
All right, we're almost. We'll get it.
All right.
the fifth one, guys. I don't remember a name.
What's the
Every single
isle?
Isn't it the volcano one?
No.
No, dude.
No?
So it's the
Nope.
forest. It's the swamp.
Yes.
The
What is that
mangrove.
called?
I don't remember the name of the
Mangrove.
mangrove
I don't
place. There's a
know.
name
That
to
one
it.
is Twisted Strand.
That's right.
The ring. What
The
is
one
name?
ring.
We're gonna go through all 5 again.
Wasn't there a ring
Twisted
at-
Strand, mangrove.
Wasn't ring at Devil's Spine?
Tropical.
No.
Gale Cliffs?
Nope.
What's the ring?
Are you
Okay,
serious?
that's the Stellar Basin. That's the Stellar
Yeah,
Basin.
it's music box.
Gale, the cliffs. The Gale
Yes.
Cliffs.
The open ocean.
The open.
Pocket watch.
Dude.
I feel like that.
Pocket watch.
Pocket Watch.
Was
Rose-
that-
oh, Pocket Watch is the
Basin.
last one, right? Yeah. This is Pocket Watch.
Yes. What is the name
That's
of the
Devil's Spine.
Devil's Spine. Yeah.
And then where was the key?
The marrow.
Was the key in the marrow?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That was the first one you get.
Okay, now we're gonna get to some tricky lore. Let's see if you caught it. What's the name of the wife?
Oh shit! I don't know.
I'm trying to remember because I helped Sean do this last night, but I don't remember anymore.
Sean Casey is the wife.
Yes.
Sean Casey, yes.
Wait, I remember now, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I
Mary
don't.
Poppins.
I don't know if I should say it because I helped
Yeah.
out with it. I'll let someone else get it.
Sean Casey's our answer.
The answer is Julie.
Julie. Yeah.
In
Julie.
the notes, she's referred
Julie.
to like just say Jay sometimes, but at one
Hmm.
point it's specifically named Julie.
It's crazy.
That was me.
Here's the
Jackson.
next
You thought you were Julie?
Jackson is.
I thought my name's
I thought my name was Julie.
Oh.
I'll give you a hint for this one before I say it. If you read the notes and you were paying close attention to the conversation with this person, you'll know the answer. Who is the researcher alleged to be? They are someone
Oh.
important,
I remember
but
this.
I don't know.
you would only know it if you're paying really close to conversations with her, or were reading the notes closely. You'll actually both. You need both to know.
It's not the daughter, is it?
She was a sister, right, of somebody, right? Was she the sister of Julie or no?
Correct. Yes.
She is Julie's sister.
So right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
she said
says,
she lost her sister.
And I figured that out
She
during the
lost her
game.
sister, and there's actually a quote
That's
of "I keep finding my dead sister's notes around,"
Yeah.
That is
and
crazy.
basically like hints at it. So you,
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
unless you figure it out at the end, it's like
I couldn't have
you figure
figured that out.
that's your sister-in-law that you didn't never met her before.
Wait, this is a fishing game?
Did you guys give her the dog?
Wait, you
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like I had
Last
to.
question.
Uh-oh, Brody didn't give her the dog. What the fuck?
I did. I
Luck
did.
him, luck him, luck him, luck him.
I did. I did.
Last question.
I didn't know what to do with the computer though.
This one you had to do something to get this secret revealed, but when you encounter the airman and Twist and Strand, he tells you the story of what happens to his crew members, that they're all killed by the monsters. What is revealed if you look at the obelisk behind where he sits?
Oh man.
What
don't
really happened is revealed.
I can't answer this
if you
because I
look at
helped
the obelisk.
write this one.
Is it?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember because I did.
Did you look at the obelisk?
Joe Mama.
I did.
I did.
Okay, man.
Did he kill him? I didn't have
I
him.
think I did. No, I did.
Who has
I
an
can't
answer?
remember.
Any final answers?
Don't know.
Yeah. Cade, you basically said it. So the mind suckers brainwashed him, and he actually killed his
him.
family.
I
That's
do remember
crazy. I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
So if you look at the obelisk, I didn't do this. We found it in our lore research.
Research.
But, if
That's
you look at the
depressing.
obelisk, it reveals you that
Yeah.
he was actually brainwashed and he killed all of his men.
Yeah,
Wow.
it says like killed with spear, and then he is pictured with the spear most times or all the time, and so it's like
Yep.
visual
So,
cues.
There you go.
There's the Dredge trivia.
That's the
Hope
Dredge
you had
trivia.
some fun.
Yay,
That's
everyone
great,
clap for that.
That was awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, that
Trivia.
was the Dredge Video Game Book Club podcast episode number 4. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for everyone here who participated. Shout out to Jeff, who is one of our artists. He did play it as well. We wish he could have been here, but hopefully he'll be at the next one. You'll get to meet him. He's super cool, guys. Shout out to Kia for joining us for his first ever video game podcast episode. Yeah.
Shut up, Zach.
Oh, thank you. No. Shout out to the rest of the team as well, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Shout out to everyone who has left a comment. We see you. We're going to definitely, you should be able to, in this pod, chapters are now a thing. So you can go back to revisit a section. But if you guys want to see more, hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.